Hey everybody, my name is Joe. I live in the USA at the Jersey Shore in Asbury Park with my amazing husband and two dogs and one cat and a little pond of 5 fish in the backyard. I've got a wonderful life. I've always had a wonderful life. I've been very fortunate and I'm very grateful for everything that I have and everything I've accomplished. However, like everyone else, there's a point in my life that was pretty dark for quite a while, and I wouldn't have been able to make it through that without this amazing person that helped me through. His name is Yahya. He's not just a life coach anymore. He's more like a brother from another mother. We've become really, really, really close, even though I've never met him in person. We spent about a year and a half on weekly live one-on-one sessions to help me get through the hardest time in my life, actually. And now that I'm on the other side of that and I'm no longer in survival mode, I can find myself doing a video like this to show how grateful I am for all the help that he has afforded me and guidance throughout my troubles and tribulations. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while, but my personality type is one in which that I overthink everything, and I want everything to be perfect and come out with this amazing production so it looks good and I look good, and so here it is, probably 6 or 8 months beyond when I originally thought that I would do this, and I'm just going to do it. Alright, so here I am, ad-libbing it. I am just going to go ahead and share a little bit of my story, because then it makes it more compelling on how much Yahya was there for me, and what a wonderful help he was to get me through the roughest period of my life. I met Yahya by accident, actually. I was online looking for a psychologist that my health insurance would cover. And algorithms start beefing up all over your social media, and somehow life coaches started popping up. So this woman had an amazing commercial, so to speak, on social media for her life coaching system, and I wasn't looking for a life coach, so I kind of just stumbled across it when I was in one of my funks, real deep, dark nights, and somebody had mentioned that they thought that Yahya, they tagged him in her video post, that he was the best life coach for panic attacks and anxiety issues. So I clicked on Yahya's link and got lost on his Facebook page, and it was the greatest thing that happened to me at the time. I can't imagine, had it not now, how it would have turned out, or how my life would have turned out. I went ahead and I got mesmerized by his program, his enthusiasm, his energy, and I was immediately attracted to that. I was at a very low vibrational state in my life, and he was at a very high level, and I knew, or I didn't know, but my mental health state knew that I needed to be lifted up out of that. So the universe, my God, my universe, helped me see me through and move forward and go ahead and ask for a consultation. And immediately, within 5 minutes after Yahya and I had our first 30-minute consultation, I knew that I needed to work with this man. Yahya made me feel totally comfortable from the very beginning. We had nothing in common. We come from totally different places in the world. If the internet wasn't here, we probably would obviously never have met. So it's amazing. And it's amazing how I was looking for a psychologist and I landed up with a life coach who I wasn't looking for. And at that point, it really didn't matter what it cost or what the program was. I needed to invest in getting myself out of the mental funk that I was in. I was in a very depressed state, panicked state, and out of nowhere, the universe just brought this upon me, and I needed to figure out what I was going to do. So Yahya introduced this program to me, and I was just so out there that my normal self would have overthought it. I would have Googled it. I would have researched it. I would have second guessed it. I would have questioned it. I was not in a mental state that I could have done that at that point in my life. I was so low. I was so debilitated due to the major panic attacks and anxiety that all of a sudden overwhelmed my life. I went from a total in control business person running a business of over 50 employees to rolled up in a ball at home in bed and not being able to go out and go into a store or function or anything. And it didn't help that this was at the height of COVID as well, so that aggravated the whole situation. But it was probably the best thing in hindsight, looking back now on how the whole thing could have unfolded, and for me, at any rate. So Yahya was very simple. Brought me through these simple steps. Didn't demand much from me. Didn't give me extra homework. Didn't make me work extra hard as far as what it took to follow along with what his program was about. So we started out with just mindfulness. We started out with just meditating on Headspace, and a lot of you might even be familiar with this because it's probably very similar to what you've gone through. And then he introduced meditation to my daily program. And at first I kind of didn't understand what 10 minutes a day could do for me, but I was a doer. I'm an overachiever type personality type. So I went along with it. After about a couple of months of working together and doing our Zoom call meetings and sessions and talking, and I learned a lot about myself. I was very transparent and honest for the first time in my life. Yahya made that very easy for me to do. He made me look inward at myself. We did some hypnotism and forgiveness, and he gave me a lot of information on recommendations on different supplements that I might want to take, and different self-help books that might help with different issues or topics. We shared a lot of different modalities, so to speak, and on what I could do to enrich or enlighten myself in this vibrational state that I was in. So as time passed, I changed my diet, my exercise, my sleeping habits. I started going to bed at 10 o'clock at night and getting up at 5 in the morning. I started working out more, meditating every single day, doing yoga every day. Worked on positive affirmations and meditating away the disbeliefs of all my old belief systems, and trying to bring in new positive visualizations of new things in life, and I shedded a lot of the responsibility that I had in owning a business and running a business that I really did not like, to be quite honest with you. It was probably a big part of the problem of what happened to me, or for me. But now I have no regrets. I sold my company. I'm working in a new company. I still have some people that work under us, but it's in a different category. I don't have any responsibility as far as overhead and ownership and all the headaches that I used to have before. I used to medicate to try to get myself to fall asleep in the old days because I have to worry about paying the bills and getting more business and making my employees happy and all of those things, where now I no longer worry about it as much. It just naturally comes from the heart, and I attract different people into my life now, so it's less work, so to speak, than it was before, when I was always so critical and I expected a certain outcome, or I couldn't see the good that was sitting right in front of me. Now I'm in a different place where I sit, I stop, I pause, I watch all the thoughts that go through my mind. I decide and choose which ones I'm going to react to. I'm a lot more patient. It brings a lot more peace to me now. I live more in the moment. I am more of a beer than a doer anymore. So a lot has changed besides the diet and the exercise and the sleeping habits and the addictive habits that I used to have, like smoking cigarettes and alcohol and marijuana and maybe some recreational drugs and staying up late and doing extra outside curricular activities that are probably not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. Didn't think I did anything really all that crazy or different than what most other people did to survive in the United States or a middle class society. However, it just all came down, crashing down on me and gave me this opportunity to see things from a different perspective and a different light. So with Yahya's help, I started going inward and working on me, finding out who I am, learning to love myself for the first time in my life and accept myself and forgive myself. And I would have never done any of those things had I not been able to share so honestly what my thoughts and feelings were over the last year and a half while I did sessions with Yahya. He didn't put any major ideas in my head. He didn't insist that I do anything any in one way. It's pretty amazing now that I think back and I reflect on it in retrospect. He really was there just listening and letting me bounce things off and let me really do the majority of the work on myself. And he just supported it, and he always made me feel good about myself, and he always taught me how to celebrate the small things and pat myself on the back and not sweat the what ifs that may not ever happen in life and the what were's, what happened in the past. So here I am on the other side of the survival mode. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without Yahya. But we did it. And it's been a little while, and although I still have thoughts and I still have some anxiety and I don't have panic anymore and I'm not depressed anymore, I see things in a different way. I still have very similar thoughts, a lot of negative thoughts that I would have had before, but now I stop and I think about that and I decide whether or not I want that to be a part of what I really am now, rather than let it run my life. Instead of walking into the room and finding and seeing and looking to see what's wrong in the room, yeah, I still see that stuff, but I no longer judge it. I no longer make the experience about that. I no longer allow that to be the definition of my whole experience with anything anymore. Where before, that's how I viewed everything in my life. For whatever reasons, we can go back and you can point fingers or say it came from childhood traumas or something my parents might have done or whatever. Wherever it came from, I've been working on that stuff, and it's been pretty amazing to be able to get it out, to forgive. So I guess I should just finish up and just say that my work's not done here, and although I'm no longer in one-on-one sessions with Yahya, I feel truly connected to him from the bottom of my heart. I would not be able to have gotten to where I'm at now had the universe not brought our souls together so we could work together and become brothers. So if there's any doubt or any questions or anybody wants any information about my experience other than what's on this video, I'm not being compensated for this. By all means, I think that you should consider working with Yahya if you're listening to this video. Peace.